Welcome to our exploration of one of philosophy's most enduring and profound metaphors, Plato's Allegory of the Cave. This ancient Greek thought experiment, conceived over 2,400 years ago, continues to resonate with us today, offering deep insights into the nature of reality, knowledge, and personal growth. In the next 15 minutes, we'll dive into this allegory, unpack its rich symbolism, and discover how its wisdom can be applied to our modern lives. Whether you're a philosophy enthusiast or simply curious about self-improvement, Plato's Cave has something to offer you. So, let's embark on this journey of enlightenment and self-discovery together. Chapter 1. Understanding the Allegory. The Cave and its Prisoners. Imagine a dark, underground cave. Inside this cave are prisoners who have been chained since childhood. Their necks and legs are bound, forcing them to face a blank wall. They cannot turn their heads to see what's behind them. Behind the prisoners, at some distance, there's a blazing fire. Between the fire and the prisoners is a raised walkway, along which people pass carrying various objects. The prisoners can only see the shadows of these objects cast on the wall in front of them. The shadows on the wall. For the prisoners, these shadows are reality. They have never seen anything else. They give names to these shadows, discuss them, and even try to predict which shadow will appear next. This is their entire world, their entire concept of existence. But we, the viewers of this scene, know that these shadows are not reality. They are mere projections, imperfect representations of actual objects. This part of the allegory represents how our perceptions can be limited by our experiences and environment. The freed prisoner's journey. Now imagine one prisoner is freed. He's forced to stand up, turn around, and look at the fire. The light hurts his eyes, accustomed as they are to the darkness. The objects, whose shadows he had been seeing all his life, now appear strange and unfamiliar. If he's then dragged out of the cave into the sunlight, he'd be even more overwhelmed. At first, he'd only be able to look at shadows, then reflections in water, then finally direct objects. Eventually, he'd be able to look at the sun itself and understand its role in creating what he sees. This journey represents the path to enlightenment, the painful but rewarding process of gaining true knowledge and understanding. Chapter 2. Plato and His World. Plato's Life and Times. To fully appreciate the allegory of the cave, we need to understand its creator, Plato, and the world he lived in. Plato was born around 428 BCE in Athens, Greece. He came from a wealthy, politically active family, which allowed him access to the best education of his time. Plato lived during a tumultuous period in Greek history. He witnessed the decline of Athens after its defeat in the Peloponnesian War and the execution of his mentor Socrates. These events profoundly shaped his philosophical views and his skepticism towards democracy. The Republic and its themes. The allegory of the cave appears in Plato's most famous work, The Republic. This dialogue, written around 380 BCE, is a wide-ranging exploration of justice, the ideal society, and the nature of reality. In The Republic, Plato introduces several key philosophical concepts. These include the theory of forms, which suggests that the physical world is just a shadow of a higher, more real world of ideas. The allegory of the cave is, in many ways, a dramatization of this theory. Plato also discusses the role of philosophers in society, arguing that the most enlightened individuals have a responsibility to guide others. This idea is reflected in the freed prisoner's return to the cave, which we'll discuss more later. Chapter 3. Unpacking the Symbolism. The Cave as Limited Perception. The cave in Plato's allegory represents our limited perception of reality. Just as the prisoners are confined to seeing only shadows, we too are often limited by our experiences, biases, and the cave of our own making. In modern society, we can find many examples of these caves. Echo chambers on social media, where we only encounter ideas that align with our own, are a perfect example. Our education, cultural background, and personal experiences all shape our cave, influencing what we perceive as reality. The sun as ultimate truth. In the allegory, the sun represents the highest form of knowledge and understanding. It's the source of light that allows the freed prisoner to see the world as it truly is. This concept aligns with Plato's theory of forms, where he posits that there's a realm of perfect ideas or forms beyond our physical world. The sun in the allegory represents the form of the good, the highest and most fundamental truth from which all other knowledge stems. The painful process of enlightenment. A crucial aspect of the allegory is the discomfort and pain the freed prisoner experiences as he gains new knowledge. His eyes hurt when he first sees the fire, and he's blinded when he steps into the sunlight. This symbolizes the often uncomfortable process of gaining new knowledge and changing our worldview. It's not easy to challenge our long-held beliefs or to adapt to new ways of thinking. This discomfort explains why many people resist new ideas, preferring the familiar shadows of their limited understanding. Chapter 4. Implications for personal growth. Challenging our assumptions. One of the most powerful lessons from the allegory of the cave is the importance of challenging our assumptions. The prisoners in the cave mistake shadows for reality because they've never known anything else. Similarly, we often cling to beliefs and perceptions without questioning their validity. To grow personally and intellectually, we must be willing to examine our beliefs critically. This might involve seeking out diverse perspectives, engaging in debates, or simply asking ourselves, why do I believe this? It's a process that requires courage and humility, but it's essential for genuine growth. The role of education and mentorship. In the allegory, the freed prisoner doesn't escape on his own, but instead he's released by an unseen force. This highlights the crucial role of education and mentorship in our personal development. Just as the freed prisoner needed guidance to understand the world outside the cave, we often need teachers, mentors, or guides to help us expand our understanding. These guides can be formal educators, but they can also be friends, colleagues, or even books and experiences that challenge our thinking. Moreover, the allegory suggests that those who have gained knowledge have a responsibility to share it. The freed prisoner returns to the cave to free the others, despite the ridicule and danger he faces. This reminds us that personal growth isn't just about self-improvement, or, in other words, it's also about using our knowledge to help others. Embracing discomfort for growth. The freed prisoner's journey is not an easy one. He experiences physical pain and psychological disorientation as he adapts to his new reality. This aspect of the allegory teaches us that growth often involves discomfort. Stepping out of our comfort zones, challenging our beliefs, and learning new things can be uncomfortable, even painful. But it's through this discomfort that we grow. By embracing these challenges rather than avoiding them, we open ourselves up to new levels of understanding and personal development. Chapter 5. The Allegory in Modern Context, Information Bubbles and Echo Chambers. In today's digital age, Plato's cave takes on new relevance. Social media algorithms and personalized news feeds often create information bubbles, where we primarily encounter ideas and opinions that align with our own. These modern caves can limit our exposure to diverse perspectives and reinforce our existing beliefs. Recognizing these limitations is the first step to overcoming them. We can actively seek out diverse viewpoints, engage with people who think differently from us, and consciously step outside our comfort zones to broaden our understanding of the world. Critical thinking in the information age. The abundance of information available to us today makes critical thinking more important than ever. Like the freed prisoner questioning the shadows on the wall, we need to approach information with a discerning eye. This involves verifying sources, considering different perspectives, and being willing to change our minds when presented with compelling evidence. It also means recognizing our own biases and actively working to overcome them. By honing our critical thinking skills, we can navigate the complexities of the modern world more effectively, distinguishing between the shadows of misinformation and the sunlight of truth. Conclusion. As we conclude our journey through Plato's Allegory of the Cave, let's reflect on its timeless wisdom. This ancient metaphor reminds us that our perception of reality is often limited, shaped by our experiences and environment. But it also offers hope. Just as the prisoner was able to leave the cave and see the world as it truly is, we too have the capacity to expand our understanding, challenge our assumptions, and grow beyond our limitations. The path to enlightenment may not be easy. It may involve discomfort, confusion, and the courage to question deeply held beliefs. But the rewards are a broader perspective, a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and the ability to help others on their own journeys are immeasurable. So, as you go forward from here, I encourage you to look for the caves in your own life. What shadows might you be mistaking for reality? What steps can you take to broaden your perspective? Remember, every small step towards greater understanding is a victory. Thank you for joining me on this philosophical journey. May Plato's wisdom continue to inspire your quest for knowledge and self-discovery.